Hello! In this video I'll show you how to configure Payara Server Docker container and how to build a custom Docker image that contains configuration and applications. To run our applications, we'll use the docker run command. We'll expose the port 8080 and 4848 and we'll bind our local directory with applications onto the directory inside the container called opt Payara deployments. We'll also specify the name of the Payara Server Docker image. In order to configure the server, we can specify an environment variable called postboot commands, which points to a file that contains asadmin commands to be executed at server startup. To keep it simple, we will place the commands file into the deployment directory. Before running this, we'll need to create a file and fill in the commands. As an example, we'll enable the health check service with the health check configure command. Enabled equals true to enable it, and dynamic equals true to apply the configuration without server restart. We can also apply other configuration on a separate line, for example to configure thread pool size. We can now save the file and run the command we prepared earlier. This command will run Payara server, enable health check service, configure the thread pool size, and deploy applications on the server. We can verify that the health check service is running with the get health check configuration command. We'll type the password admin and we'll see that the output says the service is enabled. Now, let's revisit our docker run command. It's already getting too long and spans 2 lines. We can simplify it by building a custom Docker image that contains all of this inside. Let's start by creating a Dockerfile file. We will base our Docker image on the Payara Server Docker image. On the next line, we will specify a copy command to copy our commands file into the location specified by the postboot commands variable. As the last thing, we will specify another copy command to copy our application file into a directory referred to with deploy_dir variable. This is the same directory we used before. We can just now use the variable to refer to the directory in a simpler way. With the Docker file ready, we can now build our custom image. We'll use the docker build command. We'll specify a custom tag for the image and a period to build the Docker image from the current directory. We will run the image with the docker run command, exposing the required ports, and the tag we previously assigned during build time. This command does the same thing as the long docker run command we used before. When the server starts, we can immediately access our application. We can also verify that the health check service is enabled. You can see it's enabled as we saw before. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.